Welcome to Charles GBT YouTube channel. Um, any project I'm posting on YouTube, you can't find it anywhere else. Any project I'm going to be posting on YouTube in any programming languages, and if I got an idea from, let's say, maybe an external resource or from a YouTube or from another YouTube person or maybe any other YouTube channel, I'll make sure to post or I'll make sure to tag the person to the video. So, but I'm certain that all my codes and any of the connections I'm doing are mine, and I don't copy from anywhere. So you have to make sure you're subscribed and stay tuned so you can get more projects that you won't see anywhere. I can assure you that. And if you think that maybe you have seen my video or a video like this across somewhere or something like that, you can just tag the person to my video or just write the person's name in the comment section or anywhere you have seen my video, my code. Then I'm trying to make my project special and putting lots of ideas and intellect to my project. So so let's just get started from this. So like this time you can just use it, take picture of the connections, exactly the same pictures of the connections. Make sure you make the same connections so it works properly. Don't mislead or don't make any mistake in the connections like this or miss anything. So just stay focused and make sure you get every single thing so it runs properly. Make sure you have a Tinkercad downloaded in your system. Tinkercad, this particular Tinkercad, or you can buy these requirements, the Arduino R3 and some wires you can use. But this time I'm not using any tutorials with wires or this. I'm just using my system for the videos, so you won't be seeing any tutorials with the real components of this. So that's it. So make sure you do your connections so we can keep going, we can keep going ahead. So you will see my code, and I'm going to paste my code in the comment section as well. Okay, so this, I'll shift this because we're going to be zooming the code in so you guys can see it properly. So I'll just shift this. I hope you have gotten the connection, so let's get started. So this is my code. I'll just zoom the code out. Yeah, I hope it's visible now. So see my connections, the red, this for the RGB. So there is a very clear difference between RGB and LEDs. They are very different. So LEDs can only show one color for their components, but this can show like as many colors as possible. You know, RGB lights, if you have one in your room or in your house, you know how it goes, like red, it has purple, it has many colors. So that is the use. So but since the name defines RGB, we are making the connections with only red, green and blue. So 9, 10, 11, that is where it's connected to. If you can see, I will highlight it: 9, 10, 11, red, green and blue. So the connections, sometimes I just make the colors to meet, to make their perfect connections. Like you can see my LED, red LED, I use the red connections, the red connection. My green LED, I use the green connection. You can change the color, just tap on it, tap on it like this, then go here and change the color. Or you just press in your keyboard B or R or any letter, is changed automatically. So I just open my code again. Okay, so this is the code. We did our void setup, output, all these are outputs except from the button. The buttons are input. So you declare your variables to track the states. So you can read the comments I make in my code. You see this: to cycle through colors, 0 equals to off, 1 equals to red, 2 equals to green, and 3 equals to blue. So what the count does, this is initially set as 0, that is off. So once it goes red, green, and blue. So the RGB, it's a boolean variable boolean. So RGB running is initially set as false, and is green on is initially set as false. So if you look, you can just be reading the comments when you get my code. So attach the interrupts. You can check your manuals for this and reasons why I attached these interrupts for the buttons to display correctly. So see the serial monitor. We are going to be working with a serial monitor. This serial monitor. So you need this serial dot begin 9600 or anywhere. Okay, so we keep scrolling. So this is the void loop. So as we said earlier, the counts 0 is off, 1 is red, and 2 green and blue. So 1, 2, 3, we keep going the same as our last code. You can see the if and else if statements. As long as the RGB is running, it does this. So you see if counts, it keeps going, it keeps going, it keeps going, it keeps going, and it keeps going. So for those of you that are in a rush to know what is the functionality of this code, let me tell you what was my idea on this. Okay, I had many things in mind, but this particular one, it's just the same thing as the last button we did, but I added some good and cool functionality to the processing. So if you look very well, it has a button right here and a button right here as well. So the aim is when I click on this button, like once I start the simulation, it just shows red, like red. It means it's turned off. So when it's red, I can't on this. I can't display the RGB lights, red, green, blue, red, green, blue. The only time I can display the RGB lights is if it's on green. So when I run the simulation, it's initially set as red, then green. If I click the button, it changes to green. So it's when it's on green that I can make the okay. Let me just no need for explaining more. Let me start the simulation so you guys will see how it goes. So I don't know if we're going to. I think the serial monitor will confuse you guys. So come. Let's just focus on the breadboard and the components there. If I open the serial monitor, you'll be seeing red on green on red on red on red on green on okay all this time. So but let's not get confused. But we are going to be printing something in the serial monitor. This red RGB off, RGB on, switched to red green LED, switched to red LED, RGB cycle stopped. So there's it. So let's just run the simulation. If I start this starts, look here, is initially set as red. So it's red. It means that your program have started. And if you notice, anytime we start the Arduino, this 10 turns on, this Arduino R3 turns on to show that it's well connected and you have gotten the exact code. Some of you will get an error, and don't worry, when you get an error, you will understand what it means to get an error because almost your code will just be red or something. But before I post a video, I'll make sure that my code is good and running without errors. So do the same and make sure you have the same connectivity with us. So this when I start the simulation is initially set as red. So if I try to click this button, it doesn't do anything because our system is off. Assume the system is off. So if I just click this button, it doesn't on the RGB. You say why? What's the problem? What we need to do now is to change it. So when I click on this button, this other button, it turns to green. So now it's green. It can control this button. You can control this button to use the RGB light. So it starts going. The RGB light starts going. Uh, Let me chart my system to make it move faster because most of my projects are much, so it just slows down my system. So you can see it's changing. So you can use the RGB light as well to off the values. So I clicked on it again, it's turned off. So I click on it again. It's on now. So it keeps going. RGB. I think it's a little bit slow because of my delay, or maybe it's my system. I don't know. So click is changing the colors. You see, because it's green, so you can change the RGB colors. You can turn it off. Uh, you can turn it off, and you can turn it on again. So if you see this, once I click back on red on this, the RGB lights offs initially because you can't work with it when it's red. So if I just click on this button, it changes to red. It changes to red, and the RGB initially turns off because you can't work with the RGB when it's red. It means that your system is off. So that was the project I had in mind for you guys. Make sure you like, drop a random comment. Maybe if you have any other way of getting the code done, make sure you drop it in the comment section. And I'll be posting the code in the comment section as well. Make sure to do all these things and subscribe to get more projects and fun things you can do to impress your friends. And it's free. Okay,